pool should provide for a very interesting matchup as we
okay,
head down
M80 on defense,
with
2G on
starting
attack.
off an attack that looks pretty primed to hit over towards A off the get.
Somehow,
maybe they
we're
don't
at
look the best in
2-2
terms of
on the
record as a team for
Pistols,
2G,
1-1
but
on every
as
single map.
White mentioned, it's silence on this
The best
Jet
possible thing
has
we
been
can get.
top notch, and all of those wins or
J
losses
Faith with the 50
always
months. Thank you so much for the
dropping
Prime, mate.
over 20
Appreciate you
every
doing that.
single one of these games, and also most of them
What is
happening
this in
on
middle?
the defensive side too. He popped off on the attack
They
against
both
all
walk
Knights
close
the last
towards
time
the
they played against
box,
each other,
and
but you
then
have to be careful of 2G on the
they just
defensive
late
side.
react and
But
go
they start
behind,
off on the attack
or
with a hit towards this A site, where M80
got a camera tag to maybe get one here through the smoke and a trip. He's waiting for the trip first, then after that he's gonna go for the camera kill.
Well, just kind of hides up on top of the rafters.
Oh, nice nade.
But
that is pixel perfect nade.
Covered for a moment is good. Post plant set up now. Here comes the redraft from M80. Net still somehow, even on low HP, makes this position good for one. Luis,
and we're playing off the site. And get used to this because they pretty much replicated A main on Sunset. So, dude, if you can do it with pistols, they hit some shots fast here, by the way.
They played the post plant on the outside for 2G, and you mentioned Net somehow was still able to get a kill because that fragment missed when he threw it towards the heaven, and when the smoke dissipates, they probably think that the site's open because, or the
Two in smoke, they spam them so fast. And I think they were trying to body block, so like the first guy dies and then you think that's the diffuser, so then you focus on everyone else, but it ended up just shooting more bullets and just killing both.
Back towards the spawn like all Knights were doing, so they're a little bit more composed to play post plant on the outside. Just play the span like it's a B site.
This is gonna be crazy. What a cleanup, man. All 5 here. And yeah, just insta dying before they can get the plant. Does it work?
So clean start here for 2G.
I think he's done it. I think he did it. That's sick.
He did it, yeah.
Oh, that's close, man. That was nice. That was very fast decision making.
Hefty, to say the least.
That is
but they got the orb, the amen.
Yeah, they got the orb, but no orb B 1,500.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're just going with the means, but I think it was just a nice little surprise that M80 was trying to do, just to flood through the owl drone that tries to clear it very early, and you're hoping to break crosshair placement. You were jumping across, but they had
you can't take the G2 out of net.
Just ADSing, getting all these
That's
kills.
a good comment.
Round that ended up there in 2G, going for mid control, but there's only Xander waiting behind, and with that smoke and no trips watching the jump up or the walk up aggressively from the defensive side of net, using both of them towards the A side, which could be a good call though, because we have a mid to A split.
Yeah, Paranoia.
I didn't want to say that he should go big, but
he
at least did it right.
Goes 1 for 1. That's not bad.
The Omen flash is really good though. I like how fast they're playing this right now. Boy, he's done insane. He did insane. He was spamming him through the smoke down low as well. That was awesome.
Yeah, he got the Jet pretty low before.
Yeah, like 10
with the
in there from Net in the back of the site, and man, the heat pop off for sure. That split towards Andy. Thought that they had full map control for 2G, and not only that, that knife that was being thrown onto Heavens too. It also doesn't allow any.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
I saw it on Reddit. From a pop flash from the top of the smokes, so it really didn't give a chance for 2G to have the cleanest takes and aggression to fight all around the A site. And 2G, or M80 rather, is able to anchor that quite well with their gun round. Also surviving a lot of players in the process.
One recon over towards A, and then insta group back. Sorry, over towards B, then insta group back, and this time we got a lurk late through middle. And they're just straight up just hitting A side all the time.
Smokes or anything else from the offense coming through. Trying to get late
and work out what the game plan is on this one. Pretty obvious. Recon. Lovely recon. Lovely. Oh, that was great.
Now it's just down to what the Owl drone could see.
Oh my god. Okay, well.
There's really no chance. You have to try to contest this top position as much as you possibly can at tower. And as he drops, it is just going to be down to Frizy and Spike, who also have to fight that high ground battle.
But Ace it.
Not comfortable at all.
This should be so fun because the Spike is top side, so he
pretty much
for him to pick it up, he has to jump.
Frizy will have to try to fight this 1v3 the hard way.
Yeah, and Spike out in the open too, and he has to jump up on top of the boxes trying to pick it up. At this point, you're going to have to count your losses and just save with 35 seconds left. I mean, you don't have too much economy to work with in the next round. You lose this run here, you're at 2,400 at least. So it'll give a chance for a lot of these players to buy into a half-life.
Well.
He could save this weapon, but he doesn't. So M80 now ties up the game. And that was also, I'd like to think there was at least a pop flash from the recon dart that BCJ kind of threw there on the top of heaven. Something that G2 did very proficiently when they're employing their defensive side of A here on Sunset. With that, you're able to get some strong pings coming through. BCJ just gets
I mean, his recon was good. I think he does his recon to the right so they can't, it's harder to shoot, and then it gets people that are just committed. Right, I think he did his recon like here. These guys can't shoot it, and so if you're committed past here, like going for the plant, it's only going to scan you going for the plant. It's a really cool recon. You got to be good with timing. Wait, that's a nice recon as well for the site. Bro, they're really just spamming A hits.
Spike still looking for the plant. That will go down successfully. Defense rotating over. Neural theft at the ready from M80. They've already spent it. Drone to follow.
Thrown into Omen Flash. Omen Flash should hit both. Doesn't hit the KO. Doesn't hit the KO, and the KO gets the kill at spawn.
2G line up the shots. Now it's down to a 2v3 situation. Weapon recovery hasn't fully happened though for 2G, so they're still fighting off Stinger, Guardian, and a Sheriff. But Prize, whoa, lots of damage and rings the bell of Xander, who still wins the fight. Tries to get the defuse out. Knows he's got at least one player for 2G deep. Xander
and there's the there's the issue you talked on the Sunset video with 2G smoking themselves.
That one's insane. How's he getting that back though?
After the end, the spams almost came through, and somehow Xander.
It's the Prime Classic with the Zeta Division buddy.
2 kills, and yeah, I had a question mark at the same time, just as much as you did here, Ship. When you tried to play the retake from M80, that dash that came across, and I looked back at the UI, Nismo still had 2 flashes available, so they were missing a little bit of communication into trying to get the best value of the dash to try to fight back.
Xander's a god for that. I have no idea he's managed to pull that one off.
He's able to get a 4K in a round and allow M80
Rapara, thank you so much, man. Rapara Palzo with the Prime. Thank you. Welcome into the Slug Club.
And they have an operator in hand for Kuala-Nu, who, like the Death mentioned,
Xander doesn't want to play another year of Ascension. Yeah, it feels like it.
When they played this versus All Knights, they had a 70.
Still, that 1v4 the other night was mental.
9 of them. So now Kuala-Nu's getting tested.
What's up, Ryan? How we doing?
Oh, he wants more. Yeah, not gonna have a chance for it though. 2G have not pushed out, and they're
Ryan, did you just wake up? You're still on the weird sleeping pattern.
Exactly. This is where it's gonna get dangerous for 2G on the attack. Kuala-Nu showing such great defensive half against All Knights the last time on this map. The first time that M80 shows this map, this tournament, this year. And it's
and the Heretics camera. It's so much info.
2G already realizing that they want to move towards the B side, hit with an ult command.
Good spam. Little firing range.
I'm not sure you can do that after getting hit.
Fragment also deals a little bit of damage to Xander, where Spike is able to follow up on his own. Now it's down to the numbers. Hunter's Fury called out for the defense. Zap still watching the top corner. Not quite able to take down the player at B.
Wyvern tag, yeah, I really feel like he should have waited.
Comes through a little bit deeper. M80 use that as a chance. And
where's that recon
through the middle of the map on this rotation through Link. Zap holding one corner. Flash out. Spikes doesn't see anything on his check. M80 running out of time. Need to find a way to try to break down this post line, especially considering it's still 3v4. But the first shots, they will
2v4.
at least give 2G a little bit more space
2v2.
to run with.
5 hits, they know there's one on site. It was unlucky. There was a little bit of, they were a little bit off here. Nismo was going to flash for him, and I definitely was expecting him this close at the angle. They were nice trying the 2v4.
Ended up being a good take for 2G towards the end. I thought the null command was going to move towards the site, but it seems that
yeah, I felt like Net kind of misplayed this pretty heavy.
Out from BCJ. He used it all the way back towards the spawn where he wasn't affected by the radius.
Problem is, I'm pretty sure they've done their research and he knows that there's a KO nade that's about to land on his head that has to flash him out either side. So he's trying to run across with the cage while it's up, but
a 2 versus 1 towards the end, and
the recon just scanned him. They saw him that he was going for it. I think he had to just wait for it, swing right, take the 1v1.
Comes out early, that's going to spot Xander, and he's going to be forced to reposition because he just got tagged.
Now it's Knives and a Stinger for silence. Xander, the only defender here, likely just going to forfeit the site. No chance to really hang on to this. Defensively, no ultimates that could be used in response to this forward pressure.
Damn, is this what Abyss is? Just straight up science?
Especially this catwalk play from silence. It's going to be difficult to do. Timing through the dark cover, not great. Shoulder is going to be seen, and that's enough for Silence to throw out the knives, find the reset. Paranoia over towards Link. No contest yet. Fragment to delay. Long flank, though, from Koala Noob. Huge 1v1 for Zap.
Ooh, timing.
He looks away from it. Can Koala Noob make good on the play? No.
We get
Zap
2
gets
kills
the
that are
read,
just for
and now
angle
M80
diff.
will have to back away and save.
Yeah, the extra just tap on that side. He was just waiting for the 3 players to set up here to start flooding towards
Really
the
nice
front
round for
B side
2G to win.
so he could get that fight.
They get
And that one
so
sidestep
much
gave a perfect line
money
for Zap
for
to get
this,
the kill.
and this
I mean,
guy
look
can
at those
just hunt.
kills that just happened.
That's a
Xander's
really
around
important
the
kill,
corner,
man.
And then you see that
Takes another gun away from them. Dude, honestly, the Omen might go for a duel here as well.
His opponent where his opponent can't see him.
Yeah, big duel going on.
There. Then a free kill from Zap. And now potentially 3 kills here on
Wait.
Net. Oh, I think he's
Okay, Omen got the duel. Saw it on the other cam.
Net died, yeah.
Through the monitors where Net was not able to save his weapon. So
Yeah, so one gun
just
saved.
Unlucky there from M80 with how they positioned themselves and just waited for the rotate to happen for the rest of the team.
I wonder if they
just got caught
force.
off
I
guard.
think
Yeah,
Koala has
Absolutely. It almost
ults.
even felt like there was a world where it's just a blind counter. I mean, you're trying to play for retake over towards the site that ends up getting hit.
Yeah, the money's in the
Knives
bin,
are
man.
Play. You don't have anything to kind of retake, and as soon as Silence gets deep towards the backside of the site, he's just so hard to displace. Especially
So
when
after the
knives are in.
timeout,
Tough
does
scenes overall, but M80 will talk
2G
about
go
it.
middle
As
more?
they will move into this next round, likely in a bit of a financial
They haven't even
Yeah,
had to
'cause
worry
the-
about the bottom of mid.
Looking pretty solid, I think, in
The
terms of- I would
obvious
say their
adjustment
success on
for
executing has been
M80 is
solid
to
this point, but more
heavy
importantly,
sights.
Sights,
when
yeah.
they do have numbers, they're taking good advantage of it by
Because
really
they
dominating these
I
sites
think
by
they
taking
hit
not just
A
good safe post play, but
5
also
times
keeping
in a
couple
row, and
players
now they hit
planted
B
deep
2
in the
times in a
site
row.
Yeah.
and really causing some issues for
They,
M80.
they at least split A a
Especially
couple
towards
of
the
times, I
B
guess, so it
side.
kind of feels like they used to build middle, but I kind of count middle as like
M80's
deep
defensive
middle.
side. I mean, again, Xander was playing on the top of heaven. He drops out towards Tetris, and he just waits for the rotate to happen because a lot of the focus right now for M80 is to look towards middle and look towards the A site. And now we have to look back into the timeout. Do we have enough economy here for Qualinum to go for an op? Do we want to contest this more towards the B side? But when they do, you know that
Oh,
it's
he
easy
doesn't
to
have
drone
ult.
here from the
He's
bottom
one
of the
away.
B ramp as well on the attack side. At least for now, it's not going to be the case. It's
Okay,
gonna be
one
a new
hero
rifle for
gun.
Qualinum.
That is pretty
So that
much
if he
it. And they
dies,
go
at
for
least they saw the
the
blade storm
same
going into
thing
the
as
next round.
earlier, full pass
Try to
and
leverage
push
that with their
with
numbers.
info over towards B.
All drone going to be used first here for 2G, clearing out a lot of space up through top mid.
What happened to
Little
Net's
high-low
camera?
setup here, and it just really comes down to can 2G bait M80 to checking this? Not going to happen. Net's too smart.
it just
for that,
middle and they
especially as
broke
the
it,
trusted
are they?
Solo defender at B, and whoa, a little delayed
I
maybe
have-
stack up for
I think
M80
so.
towards A. Problem is this spy cam is going to read it if they do decide to get aggressive. Meanwhile, Net is just holding on to a
Yeah,
classic.
and
Yeah, Net is
pretty
much
obvious
gonna
on
die
this one. They
here.
decide to go
And
heavy
this will be
middle.
the
It's still a
open
nice
B
game
site,
plan
and
though. When you're
I
in the
mean, you're just
server,
trying
it feels
to-
so much harder to read.
Everything from the camera from Frizy.
It'll also be
set
interesting
towards
to
the
see if they
just contain all
do
of
it
M80 all
on
along, where they
that,
were
like
just
against
waiting
an
for
actual
that
buy
pop
round.
flash to happen
Pretty
when Qualinum would
interesting
get
what
first
just
contact
happened.
into A. But as
Nismo and
everything
Koala
stays quiet
pushed
towards middle,
the A
towards
main
main,
if the
towards
Net
even B,
died.
they have no information towards
And
B side because
Nismo
they
got
were
the orb
so
instead of
focused towards
Koala. I
middle.
thought
But you
he
know
was
that
gonna
they're
get it
huddled up somewhere.
ult and give
Go for
him the
gamble
gun
to
for the
read towards the
retake.
B side
Oh,
to
okay,
catch
yeah,
Net
that
off
probably would have
guard.
made
It
more
becomes,
sense.
An easier plant there for
Unless one of them
2G
bought heavy,
to
which
potentially
they didn't.
save this into a flawless.
Yeah. Silence going to get read over towards the connection. Good for the first BCJ. Good team shots coming through with Kowalanu. And wait a second. This is still doable. If you can hit one more shot, especially on a Spike, who is really caught looking both directions.
they
at
know
once.
about the
Flashes
Omen.
One side caught with the nade out. Doesn't really connect, but Luis around
It felt
the
like they
back.
know about the Omen.
Will likely
Someone
put
turned
this
around
a
pretty
bit
early
more
on.
contest. Net
They
is
still
indeed
actually did pretty good damage considering they were on eco. Just the issue is the money's so good right now. We've got a 5k, 5k. Not going to change anything.
And the most important thing too is that Zap didn't have to use his Hunter's Fury either. As they
Okay,
were
now we get the
losing,
off out.
he was losing teammates in the process of the retake of M80 against them. So he's able to save this into the next round. If not, it would have been a nice little W here for M80 on top of the damage that they've done to win and force out that ultimate on the side of the IGL of 2G. And he was playing it. I mean, you saw he had
Okay,
the
where
line.
did the
He was
op
watching
go?
that cross towards that ramp.
Massive on
This is what we're
here.
talking about here. The Owl drone coming out quite early to try to get some
Okay, so
deeper
then they
pings,
had one
actually.
round
Yeah.
against the eco
Droning
to
from
make them
interest
feel
in
like they might go
slot
middle.
Still works
And
out.
then they go, yeah, we're just, this is one of the better things with Jet. You can fast kind of get over towards this box. It just combos so well. With just Omen Flash.
That's yeah, the Omen Flash in this overload.
Yeah. What it's what Lev do as well. It's really strong.
And yeah, he's gonna
The same pathing as Asmus.
Hit the shot at range. Spike though planted. Knives. Tagging on the first place. Prize
Nice.
down to this 84.
Big 1v2.
Gonna force
Alright.
him out into the action where Nismo was waiting with open arms.
Wait.
With a little bit extra. 4-5
Yeah, it's giving him something little there. Holy hell.
Felt like that was playing a Japanese game show where he's just trying to avoid all the obstacles being thrown towards him. Somehow avoids the last beam of the Hunter's Fury and gets a random spray through his own cage, which was super important because that activated the neural theft for him to get information on where the positions of their opponents would be, which then allowed M80 to activate it a little bit more aggressively and Koala to get a successful kill onto Zap right there. Again, the last line of offense if they were to lose all the players in the back of that B site. So very well done towards the end on the anchoring.
We'll just go this time. Aggro over towards A.
Towards the A
I mean,
site,
this
now
knife's
towards
gonna...
B, and that timeout
Okay,
was
they're waiting for the
eventually
knife.
there to not
They then go
necessarily
close after the knife. This KO is
shut down
purposely
the
getting
B-side
hit by the
aggressively,
knife.
but for Net to just try to contain as much as he could so that the rest could start
Okay,
working
higher,
here
lower
on
with this.
continuous mint control and
Takes first contact, so they try and swing wide so you get the op shot. I like that. This Jet's got to kill the... Oh.
There's the dash through, but Koala hits an impressive opening shot. Nismo, you thought was going to be dead to
Wait,
rights.
this guy could really own this.
Not the case, though. Spikes eventually finished off Xander.
Thank
how
you
it
for that.
goes.
Response on the prize breaking through vents. And M80 hold the edge. 5v4. And the shot for Koala hits onto Spikes. Put out a commission again.
Lovely dash in to see him. Damn, this guy's so crisp, man. That was lovely from Koala though, after missing the shot updraft up, so it was hard for him to hit. This guy on A main should win the rounds. Okay, well, at least we got one right.
Finish off the round, a critical one, as M80 get us tied up with 2 to play in the half.
I liked how everyone from the back was drawing attention for
yeah, they were doing so much. Yeah.
With the operator, yes, you had a
I
couple
almost
of
cast it. I got a little bit nervous for that
of
1v1, the first 1v1 on A main.
But that angle is held so tightly by Koala that he could just watch that angle confidently. And if he misses, it doesn't matter. Dashes away or at least holds the line for the rest of M80 to come back here for the retake. But once again, Net activating on the late flank. Well, sorry, activating this time for the first time on a late flank, but still, the story remains that he's been a pivotal part of M80's defensive line so far to keep this game close on a 5-5 scoreline on Abyss.
Yeah.
Not know how to plan on the ledge. They probably do. It might just be the fact that they're playing so heavy over towards heaven that I think that they just get spammed.
Very great now all of a sudden. After a couple of rounds, we're starting to be kind of traded back and forth. That loss likely put them into a weird spot. So do you try to limit the amount you spend here to get a full purchase for 12? Try to end this thing 6-6? Because that's the math in terms of how you would figure the probabilities would go if you do decide to go down that path. And I think that, 6-6, if you're looking at 2G, what they showed us defensively yesterday, you guys are sitting here saying, that's great. I mean, we'll take that.
Exactly. And again, just to reiterate, the look of 2G on the defensive side too, with Silence on the defensive side, has dropped most of his kills in these 20 bombs against his opponents on the defensive side. So I think this is going to be very similar, where you might turn the table and see that this game could potentially go into its first overtime of the series with how good both of these teams are currently displaying a good defensive line.
3 times.
Well, coming back into it. Oh, 2Game are able to actually full purchase
moving
here,
the op and 2G.
This one, but what
pretty much
next?
looking
well,
like they're just going to run the exact same strat, or at least something similar. Maybe the Sova joins middle, or we're just doing the recon deep middle.
See how M80 everyone was ready to dodge the knife.
Yeah.
Like right at the edge of it.
Yeah, this was cool. Dodge knife, 3-person go close. And then just flash swing.
Silence, but the defense has to back off and just play a more reserved setup.
Yeah, I mean, that was thrown from the defensive side. It was a line for M80 to try to go for a pop flash recon dart and just go for sprays through the smoke when their opponents are blinded and just trying to avoid shots. So it only manages to do pop damage and now less defensive utility to hold the hit. Yeah. So 2G is just going to walk into it.
A couple of spam shots coming out of BCJ. He'll be revealed and chase
again.
Silence doesn't make
how is he managed to see that one back? Oh boy.
And that's enough for the Hunter's Fury to be earned. That's not going to stall the plant, though. 2G have to play reserve. That's the only issue.
Yeah, trade in so that they can dash in again with the rifle.
And now it's on to the retake. Kuala Noob first one forward. Paranoia just to block out.
Becomes nice, and we're here again.
Setup, though. Kuala Noob gives us the first offer. Doesn't work out. Smoke is down.
Oh boy, he went for it.
Tried to get the little floating flank. Not gonna work.
We're back again.
Now it's just Nismo. Now it's just no one. 2G takes the round.
Smoking themselves off and just spamming.
With the Paranoia to clear the front part of the site first, but I almost
Spam
feel
fest.
after that recon dart
Yeah,
that paints
it's
nobody,
bad in A
they
main.
should have waited a bit to allow your Nismo to move forward and pop flash towards the A main so that that floating ability, the floating capability of Kuala Noob potentially could have had more than just one for his troubles. That would have been such a nice play if we actually maintained those flashes that are coming in from Nismo. If not right here, I mean, so many players would have been blinded. We did get some pings all top of that to try to get some shots through the smoke.
Could you do anything
against
against that?
It becomes a round
Push middle.
for 2G.
Flash doesn't reach all of this.
Yes, good for 2G, but also maintain quite
Yeah,
good for M80.
just-
So they have another fighting chance of the op.
Yeah, silence with knives.
Imagine Astra this post plant. Yeah, it's the reason why people play Astra a lot.
Towards B though. Double line defensive setup. DCJ and net making it look
Sage,
like old school.
it's one of the reasons I think Sage is actually like very viable on this map. That is really nice, bro. Dude, they just straight up sight hit every single round apart from against that eco after the timeout where they full pass the middle.
Silence doesn't quite lock down the knives. Paranoia comes through, and Nismo is going to do his balancing act on the outside of the map.
And that's why you're enjoying having a Noman in your composition too. These from the shadows, where it probably won't get hurt from any position that's been held on the defensive side. It allows for you to pinch so well.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah, no risks taken here.
I think both teams will be happy with this half. 7 without 7 on attack with pistols, 5 without pistols. Pretty good for both teams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and this on top of that with how well 2G's been playing. I mean, if they get a pistol round, that's going to continue that momentum for them to close things out. But M80 has been having some good stellar pistol rounds on their side too, since Abyss of the second map into this one of Icebox into this one now. Potentially
there's a lot of just
Abyss here in the
sight
second half.
hits into
But again,
after
just to
plan.
reiterate what I was talking
B,
about
they
here
partially played on site.
the
A, they
shadows
just
of
played
the
off site
Logan.
every single
The
time.
positioning you're playing on the defensive side, you almost have to play like Ivy on Tetris. You're playing towards heaven. You're trying to push up towards the lanes, or you're turtled up on a heaven and also towards bridge, just to make sure that you're not going to be pressured from one end, the forefront at the very beginning here, where the bearers that come up right away could already initiate and engage some initial fights. So nobody's going to hear the TP on the back end. That was nicely done there by
Canada
Luis.
Patriot, thank you so much for the prime, bro.
Again,
Appreciate
2G,
you. Welcome into Slug Club. Thank you for that.
Round. I just chuckled a bit because at first we had a little hello here to Sabrosa. This time we got a little hello to Shanks, of course.
You saw that too?
They're out there giving
big
it
hello.
crowd.
I mean, we're always praising the Sean Garys and also the Sliggies that's watch party, but it's nice to see here Sabrosa and Shanks also doing their part in the community and watching these games and supporting M80 potentially
Nice, everyone
here
gets a
to
shout out
ascend.
for watching.
But 2G has something to say about this so far with the lead they've been holding on Abyss.
Yeah, they've been really clean. And I think, again, I've said this a couple of times so far on this event, but the most impressive part about the 2G story, outside of the fact that in a lot of ways, a lot of people said that they didn't even deserve to be here after the results in the actual stage finals of their region. They get here off of points, and it starts off hot.
Flame me more? What, on the broadcast? I mean, probably.
Matches, and then all of a sudden it starts to slow down. You have to match up versus an M80 squad on upper bracket finals round 1, and wouldn't you know it, they out game plan them. So I mean, it's just the progress this team has shown has been unbelievable, and they hold a small edge, but an edge nonetheless as we swap the sides into the pistol in the second half. So here we go. Sheriff in the mix here for Silence. Don't rule him out from being able to connect with that. Ghosts largely offered from the rest of the teams.
What the hell?
And M80's offense will play a
all right, so we're here, right? 3-2.
Nat feeling things out at mid. Supplying some smoke support is Xander. But the one way over towards A will keep M80 away from finding any early entryway. So things will now have to move
Bit
back
of pressure over towards
and
A
this is
into
gonna
an
go
insta
right
group up
into
B.
the
Yeah.
waiting arms of Silence. How many can he find? Was miraculous in some ways with this weapon.
Oh, this is a good
during
knife.
the sunset play. There's the swing. Paranoia. Knife is
Yeah,
out.
it doesn't change too much, and that's a lovely kill.
M80 find the first eliminations, and it's off to the
Dude, we
races.
really gonna get
Smoke
1-1
cover
pistol on
isn't
every
gonna
map?
provide too much.
Nice shot.
Almost had an angle, but Koala Noob equal to the task, and that's now gonna be a 5v2 post plant.
BCJ still has drone.
No way. Ghost Sheriff here still
That's outrageous, isn't it?
2G, but this deep post plant is gonna be difficult to get them out of. It has to start with one though. Prize going to be the first one to check. And for M80, they are going to play the post plant smoke spam out towards this outer ledge.
Yeah, and this guy should
And
just.
why not? Shock dart also in play.
Nice
He's able to
pass.
find one, but that'll be about it. Pricey doing what he can, but Xander steps
I mean, he got a
forward,
lot
finds
from the
Evelyn,
top
and
here.
it'll be
2
a
people
pistol
running at
win
him.
For M80. Looking for
I
the
think it's
anti-ego,
great for
getting
this
this thing
series
back to
that
level
every map
early.
is
What
1-1
M80's done
pistols.
a number of times
It's just the
before.
best when this happens.
No
So you
more
actually get to
critical
see like
spot
who's the true
than
best
doing
on the
it
map.
right here and getting this offense cooking.
Yeah, exactly.
Also hearing my teammate and co-commentator Vansili has lost his internet, so you guys will be dealing with me till we
And
finally
the
get him
solo
back in.
cast is rough.
And the interesting thing, I think, just kind of looking at the M80 offense from what they did versus All Knights, you know, didn't have much of a chance. They didn't really need to do too much.
Vansili,
on the
yeah,
offense
dude,
after the
TMV just
defensive
DDoSed him because he
dominance
didn't
that
get a
they were
shout
able
out.
to showcase in that map number 5 as we get quick action for 2G trying to step aggressively through A. Knife is there, but it's late, and that's a good first blood. Zap trying to follow up, and ooh, does at least counteract, go 4v4, smoke down, and M80 are on the way, but Fragment's going to hold them at the front door for just a little while longer.
Nets has had a ghost, right? Sheriff?
Thank you so much for holding the fort here, Shift, but Herman is just going to try to hold back and flood back. Beautiful flash, though. That could do some damage against M80 in a pulse plant.
Shot, man.
Nope, maybe not.
That was really impressive. I like that.
Just knows exactly where the hit's going to come from. Zap up top. So you can maybe find some timing. Wall is low. Ahead is shown. Nismo there. Follow-up from Pricey not going to work out. And Zap, well,
Good damage.
he's able to tally
Very
another,
good damage,
but doesn't look like much more
Few
will
guns
come.
already.
This drone will hold him back a
Could
little
do
while
more.
longer. BCJ Nismo can also just wait to fire this, and the Aldron will stare him down a little while longer. Shaw, the recon dart comes out. Should be a swing after this as soon as the next toggle.
Damn, bro, look at all this damage. Everyone,
Wow.
what a beast. He's playing so well. Doesn't get the rounds, but it's just incredible damage. Takes away 4 guns.
But for him to land that shot against Nismo, Nismo tried to get a timing off the flash to swing out, and he just held his crosshair. And as soon as he got partially flashed, because it didn't look
double
like it
swing,
really
bro.
went
If they
in front of
double
his
swing
face,
and he
that
2-taps them,
way
they
too
literally
high.
could lose the
And it was
rounds.
still
They played
able
it
to
right
connect here
still.
on beautiful shots, making it very expensive for M80 in their bonus round.
I
And
think
that's what you
M80
see
will
here
be
for
tempted
2G's
to
side. When you
go
lost
for
the
an
pistol
orb
and you
for
lost
Koala
your
to
ego,
get his
your
ult.
gun round here is
Yeah,
going to
see,
be
he
much
only
more
has
fruitful.
a
I mean, look at
a
what you
shorty.
have here for M80.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
hero
And
rifle
he's
is
got
not
heavy
even to the
armor.
hands of net. Sorry, of Koala Noob, it's onto net. So right now
Is
for
that 2G
M80's side,
kind of
they
on top
are
of this?
trying to
They do
focus
a
this orb, so you get the
aggro
blade storm up
smoke.
for Koala Noob. They
They wanted to try defend it a little bit, or at least try and waste some time.
And
Yeah,
forfeit that position.
it
And
pulled
that
out
could
a
potentially
little bit of
be
YouTube
rather
from
a
the
winning
M80 to
condition
clear
now
it.
for
Nismo
M80.
flashed 1.
Could be full armor as well for Koala Noob, so he's going to be pretty survivable, especially into the face of Eddie.
We're gonna keep an eye on Spike. He probably needs to save his
His knife, right?
Safely
yeah.
grab the orb, getting closer to the Hunter's Fury before backing down. And we're down to 60 seconds here. Defense still holding very aggressively. Aldrin will make
This is great to get the Cypher to break.
Yeah, only the Cypher builds doesn't really give you much info.
And he broke it with a classic tooth, even though he has a Vandal.
That's the most important thing, to let himself be known and
He was
shoot it
pretty
with
smart.
a classic instead of his Vandal too. So
You and
still the
Vansili.
element of surprise available for M80, but there's 3 players of 2G in the back of the A site.
This position for
Nice pathing. I was gonna say, is he gonna absolutely send it into spawn? Oh, he's going for a play, man. Oh, he's really going for a play through the smoke as well. Wait, he didn't get that kill. At least got traded. Dude, Nets had a great round here.
Xander's able to put himself onto a Vandal.
The trip on spawn is so big.
Silence still has an outlaw, and the route he's taking will be absent of any rifles.
Nice.
Reposition. Oh, big.
Sander for
Big,
2,
big
and
guns.
M80 pull off a 3.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
Became once again net coming through after getting that kill.
I feel like they gotta
into the backstab of Koala Noob.
feel like they gotta.
Spawn so that Xander could just
They had a
fully
flash,
focus
right?
on watching AE Heaven. So
Problem
yes,
is, I
you
don't think they had the
mentioned
trip
versus
spawn,
two.
so
Still
the trip
doable
spawn
for
was so
2G,
nice
but
when they
because you're
just
trying to
didn't
retake
have
with
to
an
focus
outlaw,
spawn at all.
you
Can
kinda
full
wanted to
focus
have that
heaven.
swing to happen at the same time. But there was a little bit of a miscomm, it seems like here, where
That's a
you were
giant
too
round, man. They
scared of a
had
swing coming
one
out from A
gun
main,
into it.
and
That's it.
Xander's able to
Obviously, they
isolate
managed to
two
pick up
easy
knives, but
1v1s, breaking the econ.
The only worry
2G. So everything
on
gets
spawn
reset
is
here
to
for
not be
M80
open for
their
someone to
advantage,
swing you
where they could
behind the
snowball the
trip.
economy on their side here in the second half.
Luis
Yeah.
trying for a pixel peek with the sheriff.
And then there wasn't enough time for that, and the thing just got broken.
Attack. Down to
Yeah.
just a bullet worth of health, essentially, against all these
Triples
vandals.
everything.
And M80 will just take the orb and get out of here. Now you've got Null Command at the ready. BCJ over towards B.
Okay, same thing. A little bit of pressure over towards A, and then straight up group towards B.
Really help M80 gain some momentum here in this second half.
Net's staying with the group too, so not looking for any late lurks. He's just watching the camera for a
How
late
many the
push,
knife gets.
but wants to be with the rest of the team here to fight back towards the B main, where it's perfect. He'll have a 3 versus 1. Best thing Spikes could do is line up a couple of these sheriff shots again.
Well, shots for Koala Noob, trying to catch the defense on the way out. Don't fully connect. Spike down to half HP. M80 will get the plant. And keep your eye on Luis.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe the
Round
Omen
him
pushing
sheriff.
behind, but he has no TP, so he can't go through the trip. He just has to break the trips. They're gonna know
Evaluates the
about it.
situation towards the backside of B and says not
Wait,
interested.
and Xander
Doesn't
goes for a
know
flank
any
as well.
weapons, especially with the post-plant setup.
Both
Almost
Omens will
just
be
does.
behind the trip, but
Luis
Xander has
needs
a
some noise
TP.
to happen from the front first before he can make this play from behind.
Oh, he broke
Okay,
it.
this guy breaks the trip.
Pinch as well, over towards the backside
And
of this, so
they're
M80
doing a
have
lot
all
of
the
damage,
bases
but
covered.
Xander should
Still
win the
starting to run out of
rounds.
numbers, though, is the problem.
Like I said,
Koala,
Koala
yes,
should win the
sir.
rounds.
Luis, last one left. Timing of this flank has been missed. Dark cover is down, but he's gonna have to try to stick something.
Now that I
Shorty
see the
says
plant,
not today. Koala
I'm
Noob
kind of
on
worried
4
about
for the round.
Xander's
Because he would have been
flank.
super late for it.
Yeah, exactly. And Koala was 120 HP. Like if it goes down, it's worry.
Yes, you were mentioning here that they had to make some noise towards the
Okay,
front.
now we get the
But I
big
would've wished him
Byroms.
to just throw the blind ult before they actually activated towards Tetris, because that probably would have blinded a couple of players and make the kills a little bit easier for them to flood into the site. Although it still came down to the 3 players pushing through from Tetris.
There was a
Still got
world.
those
It was
first
pretty close.
kills,
You know that dual
but
back
again,
sight,
it
the
doesn't
first one, the
allow
Koala
here
took,
Luis to
that goes the other
get
way.
the
That's done.
best
He just
out
has
of
no
his
time to
flank.
get there.
After all, because he broke
We'd
that
have to
trip so
run,
early that
the
the
duel
last
would
two
take
players
too
know
long.
exactly where he's at. So that's just unfortunate. That would have been an opportunity too. That
MV
through the
stream is
paranoia
down
you're
because
hit
of
by that,
lightning. Wait,
you won't
really?
hear the trip, but you won't pay attention to the trip being broken.
Fan City taking
That
back
could have
out.
been a nice win con there for 2G, but nonetheless, it's still a hemorrhaging that was stopped here into a thrifty potential of 2G that M80 is able to capitalize through. So that calls out now a tactical timeout for 2G. And for M80, Happy looks pretty relaxed on how the round and the map has been going in favor of M80 so far.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, this is another instance, though, where, again, those little moments you feel like in the long scheme of the timeline of the map, maybe the difference maker, because this has been just about as back and forth as any map that we've seen so far in the event. So when you deal with things like that quote-unquote, you know, bonus round.
Worry about his own internet
where you're
day. It's just UK
relying on
internet,
the
man.
knives to
I had
land,
it
and
so
then you
many
kind of
times out
swing
there.
the eco back your direction. That's a swing of 2-3 rounds that can be a major difference maker in a swing map of its own right. So
yeah,
this is an important follow-up here for 2G. Going back into the operator for silence. Hunter's Fury, Neural Theft at the ready. The same can be
Let's
said
think
though for
2-9
BCJ
loss
and
bonus.
Nat.
They're
The
going to
only
be
addition
eco
is
after
the
this
null
one
command
as
for
well.
Ismo,
It'll
which is
still
ready
be,
to go.
I mean, honestly, if they get a plan, they can maybe light buy it next.
Null
I mean,
Command is
light
actually
armor buy
getting
heavy.
ready to get grouped up with everybody pretty much if they want to go for this mid to A split.
I mean, Zap
It'll
should.
be fairly quick. But Zap's waiting just around the
Thank you
corner.
for that.
Lots of damage, but cannot track onto the updrafting Koala Noob. Spike. Little play off the ropes. Avoids the Hunter's Fury and finds one. Ismo dropping on forward. Neural Theft is going to be called into the mix, and M80 through the null command still being effective. Will work their way deep into sight and net. Make sure there's
It was a convincing
no
round.
back over through
I tell you what was really
fence.
impressive
Flies
though.
last one
It's like when people
well,
send it
he's
over
stuck.
towards
Yeah, there's
Lotus.
just nowhere he goes from here.
like Hobbit.
Yeah, and even if the value
When they
of the
send it
Hunters
through the
here at
choke
the
point,
beginning
like
of
the
two
Jet
first
doing
pulses
this,
didn't
that
get
was
anything.
awesome by him.
It was
Because
Net's neural
it's such a
set that
hard way to
actually
get
allowed
through.
for us to get
I think this
information
guy's
on
in at the
that
best
lineup
angle. You should
in the
be
back
like
of the
more
site
than
and
at an
give
off
value
angle,
here
so you
for
can actually
Quality
kind
to
of
get
get
the entry.
like you want.
This continues to be a nice display of
As much
execution
as
coming out from M80,
Koala did great to dash through, this guy's positioning doesn't really make sense because they're normal wide swinging you here when you kind of want to just get him in this corridor where they can only swing to a certain level.
As a 2G player.
So it was like it was good from M80, but I do feel like Zap messed up positioning.
Right now on this map, and he's been criticized so many times as
this duel, a lot of the times, if you sit right, you get him when they're W and swing.
Where usually it's a jet map, and then he's playing some.
It was still awesome. The dash through was still great.
But he's using a Yoru, and then you're thinking, oh, maybe he's just not comfortable with playing Jet anymore. And so many times he's been tweeting out, watch out, I'm going to be the best Jet there ever was in Valorant. And he wants to prove that right now on a Jet map like Abyss here, and he's showing it so far.
Yeah, yep. And, you know, I think the other side of this is not only has Quality kind of taken the reins, but silence has been a non-factor. And the operator has not hit like it had in a couple of rounds previously, a couple of maps previously when we've seen 2G find success in this map. It's just they've avoided the operator so darn well. So it's another part of, again, the utility using on these executes. M80 has been solid to this point. Hunter's Fury now out for the defense, fueling the threat, but Dismo opens the door with the first. Zap does push off one, finds the elimination. Quality still gets planted into a sneaky spot.
That's a gun delivered.
That's a gun.
Now means a rifle could get
Why the
collected.
auto
We'll
came
go
out.
3v3.
Luis will have a plant, and it's for a spam plant. But on a good side here for 2G, you still have full utility on both.
Again,
Spike
BCJ has
and
drawn.
Luis, and Smokes too. This would be hard for M80
Yeah, every
to
single
hold.
time. But this is because they use so
They do
good
have an
guns,
drone,
right?
though, in case things do get mixy. Paranoia is out, and they spam
Yeah, and he's
through
going
it.
to start droning now. Unless the nades on his head.
Luis.
The nades on his head stops the drone. Great flash. Oh, this is nice. You nade to make sure they have to go out into the open, and you flash out.
Net was one shot away and he missed everything.
Dude, who's missing from that chat?
With fire from yesterday
Who
to
was
today. He looked so quiet in the first two maps versus All Knights, and suddenly you see Net starting to activate in the last two maps of the series, pulling through from M80 and now continuing to push forward as he stands up right now for the Blacklight
straight up
replay.
giving it.
And he deserves it so far. This would
Well,
be the second time
did he break something
that
when he
Net
stood
would
up?
ascend into
I did see just a
partnership,
random
and the
chair
second
there.
time that he would get a trophy under the Ascension tournament, showing that he's still great value to any team, and wants to prove to G2 that it was a mistake for G2 to drop him, to give that role over to Leaf in the Sentinel role, and that he wants to
Cheering?
come back in full
Just a
force
good
under
Valorant,
this
man. I
M80
don't mind who
banner,
wins.
and to potentially create more ruckus into partnership.
He's been unbelievably good. Solo on the defense has been solid. His lurking has been really potent here in the offensive half to this point. He's already on to his ways again, just kind of working the B side of the map by himself, and the rest of his teammates are lurking down mid-library. Deep knife, deep smoke. It's going to get M80 a little bit further. And that means the defense has to respect this. You've got
KO
Spike on
is
one side,
kinda on top of
Aldro
this.
cutting through on the other, and they only see Xander, so Koalanub can stay
Kind
here
of sitting in an off angle.
if he so chooses to. It just comes down
I don't think
to,
he's
will he draw
gonna
the
make
line
a
in the
play
sand
until
right here on
something
the corner
happens.
box.
Koala.
Someone will make some, yeah,
Spikes has
someone will
some
make
sort of
noise
feeling as well.
somewhere.
And look at
Drone,
that, just
dart,
dashing
I
in,
don't
or
know.
sorry, not
He'll
dashing,
just
he
hold.
pretty much
inserted
just
all
there
the way
for
back
once
towards
they
top middle
actually
for
start coming
Quality.
towards you, and
There's
then they
three
can
players
react.
that are
Yeah,
not
now
watching
that he
spot.
got
They're
revealed
so
by the
weak here
knife,
on the B
he
side,
has to-
although walking right into
The bait
this
in for the
crossfire,
jet.
set up bait and
Oh,
switch
he
here.
didn't shoot the
Oh,
recon.
no.
Has to use the dash to
They
get out
missed
of
the
there.
recon, so Silence has
They're
to
still
dash
worried
away.
about that guy over towards middle
40
because I haven't
seconds
seen him
left.
yet.
Net has
And
only
then
just
so it's kind of like what they've been
scouted
doing the
out
whole
this
time, pressure
site.
over towards A, but this time we
He's
had
been able
pressure
to at
top
least
mid, so this
transmit that
rotate's
no
going
one's
to be a
shown
lot longer
themselves
as they
towards
clear
that
all
B
of this.
tower. But the spy
Good,
camp
cool round.
placement for 2G
30 seconds
is
left.
just sat here to say, come on in if you want to. We'll just keep playing for retake. Tools on the table. Null command at the ready. Neural set at the ready. Waldoop has knives if things get mixy. Plant will come through successfully.
Spike planted.
Luis trying to scout things out. Will play
Big Jill.
around the back
Ooh,
of
what a
this, and
Jill.
he gets the first, trying to teleport away.
Okay, Omenal onto Omenal.
Extra lease on life, and
What is
makes
going
sure
on
that
here?
the
How much
Xander
can
chases
Koala
him
get
down.
on
Teleport,
site?
teleport.
Nothing.
Now from the front, Spikes gets the retake
Gone.
on the way. Oh, the shots
Gone.
from Zap.
Zap is doing great,
Find
man.
a clean retake, survive with 3, and get us back to within the same number.
And I was just about to mention where, yes, come into the site and plant because we'll play the retake, but they haven't been always the cleanest one there for 2G. And it came down to a lot of vaults that had to be used here, at least from the shadows, or at least a neural theft to get the information on the last few players remaining, and the null man on top of that.
M80 would still be here for Nitro state. I honestly didn't watch enough of Tier 2. I didn't really watch them when Nitro was in, so I don't know, man.
That is a lot that was expended on
From
the
what
side
other
of the
people
2G
said,
camp
it sounded
when
like they
they're
got
behind by
that it was an
3,
upgrade.
And M80
So.
only needs 2 rounds to close out this map. And you're looking at what
I think
really
we would not be here because Nitro
rounds,
was kind of stuck in an old mindset of trying to play the Valorant that he was playing in 2020.
Yeah.
When the game first came out, but that mentality doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Hard to be out of this game for a long time. I say a long time. It was like 6 months. But...
especially for 2G, and they try to get aggressive. Nismo doesn't take a lick of damage. But the presence through A main now either says for M80 you pause, try to re-clear it.
The first comp M80 brought out after dropping him was the triple sentinel.
Oh, really? They didn't see this guy, right? Jet is so good for hitting B site. Jet really makes the fast Bs doable. Massive kill. The round secured.
No Trojan horse here. So now it's just
Sims, I haven't spoken to him since he came into stream last. I should reach out again.
That is an issue. And again, remember, the credits are not great for 2G right now.
Nope.
So maybe Silence gives this a look, and yeah, that'll be all he does. Backing away, they're going to try to play for OT.
They have to. At this point, Silence rifle could be dropped to somebody else. They could use a Blade Storm. I heard Blade Storm's being utilized at the beginning of this round, but wasn't too sure if it's Koala or Silence. So yeah, Koala to activate in the rest of the site here with the team towards the B site. So there is still some fighting chance now for 2G going into the next round, saving these 2 weapons. But overall here, again, count your lucky stars here for Nismo, because that's not going to happen a lot.
Just how much a difference is between saving in Valorant and saving in CS.
When he was pushing towards the A main.
People save more in CS, right?
Looking at how 2G's playing the defensive side, we've been always
it's so doable because of the util.
Defensive rounds, but you've mentioned it, Shift. They needed to get the op early on the defensive side for him to get the most value on how he's been playing this site, this map of Abyss here for 2G, and they've done such a good job.
I mean, it makes sense in that game a lot of the time.
For 2G to activate with an op, so
I kind of left when the J meta of saving
keep that economy low
started happening.
Over on the side of their opponents.
That was like my last event.
Major
was that?
Yeah.
And whoa, hold on a second. How about this? Op will be carried into the next round.
Right.
Nismo's going to hold it. So that's a little bit of a flex pickup as 2G.
All right, 4 chances.
Very aggressively
four chances.
towards B main. Luis, the player holding on to the double stack box. Spike, the one trying to play contact for him. The knife does not reveal anything, and that will call onto the A defense to stay a little more alert,
this
knowing
time.
there's no immediate threat
Switching
towards
guns
B.
for the pick.
Orb collected for BCJ. 1 away from the Hunter's Fury. Now I believe that was Nismo who grabbed that.
Yeah, BCJ is still 2 away right here. So that said, I still find it interesting that we still kept the Vandal for Silence, not go for the Blade Storm. So players are actually weak in terms of armor for for the players actually, instead of having the most chances on your side to go for full shields on one end, because you are facing against the map point of M80.
Well, they know the operator's on the field now.
And honestly, they should be happy with that again, because they created question mark over towards A.
Oh boy.
And they know that the only thing to clear it is a recon, and they'll get info on that.
Somehow we're connected.
Oh my goodness!
And they are just on top of that, thinking that something might change here.
Some Spidey sense is tingling. Spikes also drops. That's the null command to get the site, and now
that should be it, man. Unless this Jet's got something mad in him.
Oh mercy! 2G in trouble. Can Silence provide a spark? First knife goes wide. Xander tries to take the battle. Get out of his way. Trade is out, but the numbers are still so good for M80, including the operator still in the hands of the
man.
How many times BCJ gonna have his drone for post plant on B, man?
Yeah, every single
crazy.
time, yeah. But every single time it made sense, right? They got the kills early, or they had an ult to get over towards site.
Yeah, it's crazy good too, because the area is so open, so the drum sees a lot of stuff.
Yeah, when you laid to it. They what we said, double maps when Nisma's on KO.
I think you have a huge point there, Kick Denied.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers back it up. That's all I'm saying.